Hi everybody, it's an honor to be here tonight, so thank you so much for having me. As Lyndon said, I am with Chez Genèse, which is a little French restaurant that's downtown Greensboro. We're right across the street from Mellow Mushroom, which is the landmark that people usually recognize us by. But we've been open for just about 14 months now, so we celebrated our 1-year anniversary back in October. But we're open for breakfast and lunch. But a big part of our mission is that we employ adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, just a little over 50% of our staff. So we are set up as a for-profit, we're an LLC, and that was done very intentionally because it's part of our mission that we believe that everyone has abilities to contribute. And I felt like as a business owner, it took a different stance for me to say, as an employer, I believe that you are the best decision and the best employee that I can have as a part of my business, and to make that part of the ground up. So we have almost 30 people on staff, and one of the things that I'm most proud about is that the staff that we have now is really the staff that we started with, which is unheard of in startups and unheard of especially in the restaurant community. But it's one of our big hopes and goals is to create an environment of community and family, not just among our own team and staff, but also with the greater Greensboro community. My personal backstory, I've loved food for as long as I can remember. Always had a fascination with food, so cooking really is a means to an end for me as I cook so that I can eat. But studied cooking through college, spent a year in France, which is where the piece of the French piece comes into our business, and moved to Greensboro 10 years ago to go to UMCG and study hospitality management. And it was during my time at UMCG that really I was on a track to leave Greensboro as soon as I graduated. I was like, as soon as I'm done, I'm out of here, I'm probably going west and I'm gonna do something cool and I'm gonna help people. And partway through my time at UMCG was really challenged on that and thought, do I really expect that I could go somewhere else and do good for others when I do nothing for the people that walk by me every day here? And so that kind of sunk in for a minute. I was like, that's a very good point. I'm not doing anything for my current community, so let me start there. And at that point, really started plugging into Greensboro, and as a result, fell in love with the city, with the people here, and with the sense of community and support and love that I think is very foundational to Greensboro. I firmly believe that Greensboro is going to be known around the nation at some point for the love that it has for its community, and I feel just honored to be a little tiny piece of that. But graduated from UNCG, started working in special education, and sometime during that journey was daydreaming one day and thought, if I could have any job in the world, what would it be? And really instantly the thought came to mind, I would open up a restaurant that gave people either a first chance or a second opportunity. And that was 6 or 7 years ago. It stayed a daydream for a while, and then I started to speak that out to family and friends, and it was like, maybe it's not actually a daydream, maybe this is something that has a little bit more validity to it. And through talking it out, kind of honed down the mission more specifically to working with adults with intellectual and developmental disabilities, because I have 3 cousins with autism, and so they're a big part of my heartbeat and my story. And watching them as they grew up and went through school and then tried to get jobs, and the inequality and injustice that there was in them not even being given a chance to interview or apply for jobs was really frustrating, and wanting to change the way that our culture views employment of adults with disabilities, and also the way our culture just perceives individuals with disabilities. So it's been a long journey to actually get to the point where we had doors that opened. But the amazing thing is that the Greensboro community has actually played a huge part in our getting started. Initially, I think my thought was, I want to create a chain reaction of, I want to be able to pour into my team so that they can pour into and invest in the people that walk through our doors every day. And then those people will hopefully feel that and be impacted by it and go back out into the community and do the same for someone else. But it actually became more of a circle where the community got interested and invested in what we were doing, and they poured into, at the time, me, because I didn't have anyone working for me. so that I can then pour into my staff, so that they can pour into the community, who then pour back into us, and it's made this beautiful cycle. So we had over 300 people who were part of getting us launched, whether that was financially, they came and they painted, they recovered our chairs, they gave time. I had a chef who donated his time to work on our menu. There were so many different ways. People donated artwork for the space, donated, an artist friend of mine did our logo for us. There were so many gifts that were given in order to help us get started. And to see that level of investment from a community place and how that's really laid the foundation and the culture of what we hope you actually experience when you come into our doors is really amazing. So creating a beautiful space, I think, has many facets to it. One of those is the culture that you create, and how you do that by the way that you interact with, for me, the team that I have and the guests that walk through our doors. But part of that is also the physical space that we occupy. And so if you've been in our space, there's lots of windows. That was really important to me, that we were in a space that had a lot of natural light and sunlight. There's a lot of plants, because plants symbolize growth and life. Things are very clean and bright. There's a lot of natural textures. The music that we play, all of it, it all has thought behind it to come behind the concept of our name, which is the place of Genesis, or the place of new beginnings. And that's what we hope to be, is a place where people can come, they can be welcomed, they can belong, they can be who they are and be celebrated for that. And in doing so, form relationships and build connections around the table.